I'm Dave Spalding, and I'd like to welcome you to Ruger's Tactical Tips. While the lesser number of rounds that a revolver has in its cylinder is a reality, the perception that the revolver is slower to reload than a pistol is not truly valid. It really comes down to the amount of time and effort you're willing to put into practicing the revolver. There's two methodologies. Some people will advocate that the revolver stays in the shooting hands at all times. You pop it open, invert it, punches it out with their hand. Now the reason we do that versus using our thumb is we get a full stroke of the ejection rod. Come down, punch in the speed loader, close it, go back to it. That method can work very good for you, and it does have the efficiency aspect of keeping the revolver in the same hand as you shoot with. Now, as efficient as that method can be by keeping it in your shooting hand, I'm going to be the first to admit to you, I prefer shifting it over to my support hand. Popping the cylinder open, dumping the empties, shifting it over here, and using my strong hand to manipulate it. The reason for that is because this is a complex motor skill. I'm lining up these holes, I'm trying to push that cylinder or that speed loader into that cylinder. It's a complex motor skill. And let's be honest, even though it's kind of in vogue not to call one a strong hand, a weak hand, you have greater dexterity, you have greater manual ability with this primary hand. And why not use that for loading that revolver? The amount of time it takes to punch that in, close the cylinder, put it back into your shooting hand is really small if you practice it. While we're on the topic of speed loading revolvers, I think it's important to point out that there are a number of products available to the consumer that will aid you greatly in getting that revolver loaded quickly. The two first ones are the Safariland speed loaders, and I would venture to say that these, along with the HKS, are the most popular speed loaders known. The two loaders are basically the same thing. One just has a taller knob than the other. You saw me using this one earlier. All you really do is just insert the speed loader, punch on it, and it releases the rounds. Very simple, very effective, very easy to do. This jet loader right here, which I don't believe is manufactured anymore, but there's still a lot of them around, does the same thing as the Safariland loader. You punch it in, very, very quick and easy to reload the gun. HKS may be the most solid loader, with tumbling and bumping and rolling them around, falling on the ground. These may hold the rounds better than any other loader out there because they actually have a tooth that locks underneath it. And once you get the loader in place, you've got to twist the knob in order to release them. The next two are basically like pieces of molded rubber. The Bianchi Speed Strip, I got to admit, is one of those little devices that I have found comes in very handy over the years. You load basically 2 rounds at a time, peeling them off. It does take a little practice, like anything that's worth knowing, but as you can see, you can get very, very quick with these. Last but not least, we have this device right here, which it's okay. As you can see, it's tapered, and what that taper allows you to do is to insert the first 2 rounds, you roll to the next 2 rounds in, you rip it off, boom. Whichever methodology you decide to use, practice with it, get good with it, but don't try to be fast. Try to be smooth, try to be efficient, try to eliminate unnecessary motion, and you can reload this wheel gun darn near as fast as you can reload that pistol.